Bajaj Auto, well, it was a pretty strong performance coming in the first quarter. The company reported the highest quarterly EBITDA in quarter one. Revenue has surged close to 28%, while margins as well expanded. Mr. Rakesh Sharma, the ED Bajaj Auto, joins us to discuss the numbers. Hi, Mr. Sharma. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining in. Well, first things first, on the margin front, that's been improving. And that's looking quite good as well. For the third consecutive quarter, we're holding about the 19% odd mark. Do you think with operating leverage and lower input cost, things can get even better from here? And just one more point, the other expenditure I was looking at, on a sequential basis, it's down by close to around 7%. Was there any one-off or no?
Good morning. Yes, we are very pleased that we managed to hold the margins at 19%. The Bajaj Auto margin is a blended margin of very distinct business units. And ultimately, we don't end up actively managing the overall margin. We obviously manage the various inputs and the business units to maximize the performance both on top line and bottom line over there. And then depending on the mix of these business units, which are pretty disparate, international three-wheelers, domestic motorcycles, and now, of course, the electric. And the blended margin, therefore, has little direct control. Having said that, looking forward, we don't see much pressure as at this point of time on the input cost. There was some movement in the early part of the quarter one. And of course, there was the OBD2A related costs, which we have recovered through price increases. So we don't see an issue over there. We see exchange rate stability. So we don't see an upside over there. So our story of ever improving mix in our motorcycles business and the increase in the three-wheeler business are both sort of positives for the margin story. I don't think we will get much joy on the operating leverage because Q2, our aim is to, match the Q1 performance. That'd be very good outcome because, as you know, Q2 is, particularly when Diwali is delayed, Q2 is a very subdued quarter due to monsoons. But we are hoping that we will be able to accelerate in the premium segments. There should
Mr. Sharma, the street will want to know, what could be the broadband then? Give and take everything, premiumization, no operating leverage. So, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I was just about to conclude by saying that when you put all these elements together, we hope to bring in the margins at similar levels.
Q1 levels. Mr. Sharma, hi, good morning. Prashant here. On exports, things continue to improve on a quarter-on-quarter basis, month-on-month as well, as we've been chatting when the monthly numbers come out. Could you sort of draw a picture for us briefly where things stand as of now? I mean, as at the end of the quarter and as of now, how much better are things and directionally, where do you see them?
Sure. I would look at the retail movement on the ground in our market. So at a global level, the retail movement of the motorcycle industry has been 2%, which is indicative of a bottoming out. As you know, that quarter on quarter, entire last year was a decline. And for the first time, quarter one industry retails are 2% up over quarter four. And our retails are on the ground 5% up over quarter four. And then when I take a further cut, a deeper cut on this, and I look at the top 15 markets which we have, which account for almost 80% of our sales, there the retail industry has grown by about 5%, and we have grown at about 7% sequentially. So this is very good news. However, when you sort of dive in a little bit more, in the underlying, there are still some hotspots. There is still some uncertainties. the entire improvement has been driven by Africa, which is the retail at a retail level, it has increased by 14%. And Latin America has held steady. But South Asia and Middle East, thanks to underperformance in Bangladesh and Nepal, has not yet returned. And we have experienced, I would call it a temporary dislocation, but a large one in ASEAN and Philippines, where the government has changed some registration norms, and there is a new process, which is now almost towards the end of adoption. So we hope that that will sort itself out by September latest, and will come back to growth. So therefore, because of these uncertainties in a few key countries, we are still saying that let's watch one more quarter. We are optimistic, but the changes are going to be incremental. They're not going to be quantum shift. So yes, quarter two will be probably marginally better than quarter one.
Just to understand that, Mr. Sharma, you said that things could normalize by September on exports. So are you saying that perhaps you will start looking at year-on-year growth? And is that on a monthly run rate basis? Or are you saying maybe third quarter onwards, the export numbers could show some growth on a year-on-year basis as well?
Yes, you see, the last year, it was, the slide had started in the markets from May, June. So definitely from that point of view, quarter two and certainly quarter three will start to show growth over the previous year.
Okay. Let's talk about the premiumization drive and, the headlines that we got in June and July around Triumph, of course. What's the run rate that you've set out for yourself over there? And with that, also just tell us overall, on domestic volumes, what is the expectation for the year as a whole, and also specifically from the top end of the segment?
So we have been consistently following the approach of driving our share and driving category growth in the top half of the motorcycle industry, which has also got some tailwinds. This is the 125cc plus segment. And just to give you an idea, this segment contributed 60% of our domestic sales. And in quarter one, it has contributed 70%. So it's quite a shift. And this obviously has some positive implications for both revenue and EBITDA. And this shift has been driven by sub-segmenting this segment and offering very pointed product propositions over there under our flagship brand of Pulsar. So we are going to continue this. In the next 3-4 months, you will see a few more introductions, new variants in the Pulsar stable, which will be targeted at different sub-segments. And we hope that this drive of premiumization, not just for Bajaj Auto, but in expanding this overall this segment will continue. And of course, the entry of Triumph is very, very helpful. But I think it will still take about 6 months to 1 year for it to fully blossom and make a significant impact on the numbers. It's a good beginning, and we are taking it step by step.
Oh, absolutely. It'll be very interesting to see the pickup, and it's a very interesting market, and there are some great products. There's a lot of competition. So I think the next couple of months will be very, very interesting from a customer perspective for sure. We have a customer sitting right here next to me. So yeah, I think the top end of the bike market is really hotting up.
Well, indeed.